In combat sports like boxing or mixed martial arts, making small mistakes can cause you to get dropped in a fight or a sparring session. Some examples of mistakes people make are messing up your footwork or getting knocked out because of a bad defense. After this video, you will be the one knocking out people, bro. So the common mistake number 1 is incorrect stance. You should always start with the basics. A solid stance is the foundation of boxing. The first thing you gotta do is find out what stance works out for you. If you are a beginner, it would be southpaw or orthodox. It depends if you are a right-handed or a left-handed person. A right-handed person should start off with orthodox and a left with southpaw. Sometimes it's personal preference too. The second thing you need to do is maintain a solid stance without messing up the position of your feet. It usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks to get good at it if you are new. Almost everyone has started at the same point, like messing up their boxing stance. The common mistake number 2, what most people make is not keeping their hands up. Your coach has probably told you before to keep your hands up, especially if you're new to boxing, because there's a very good chance you will make a lot of mistakes when you are inexperienced. You don't have to keep it up all the time once you start getting better at it, since you will be fast enough and know when you can drop your guard. But if you are not experienced, make sure to stay on guard. It helps out your defense a lot. The number 3 most common mistake people make at the boxing gym is trying to act like prime Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, or Floyd Mayweather. I see this all the time, and you have probably seen this too if you have been boxing for a few months or a year. There is always a new kid who comes into the gym thinking he is gonna beat everyone like prime Mike Tyson, or they start dancing like Prince Nassim or do something like Muhammad Ali shuffle. There is nothing wrong with trying different techniques, but it is important to know when you should be doing them. Remember, all of them had several years of experience before they could develop their own fighting style. The common mistake number 4 is not focusing on defense. Let's take Floyd Mayweather as an example. His unique Philly shell defense is what separates him from the rest of his competition. It is one of the reasons why he has never been defeated by anyone in his entire career. Most people have a very bad defense in boxing, and it is something that you have complete control over. You can improve it by doing drills like slipping, weaving, and rolling. Using things like a slip line can make a great difference. You can use your boxing wraps or a rope to make it. Remember, pad work helps a lot with defense, speed, and reaction time. If you keep doing defensive drills and pad work for a few days, you will see a very big change in your skills. Stop making excuses if you want to get better. The number 5 most common mistake people make in boxing or any combat sport is skipping their warm-up. Yeah, warm-ups can be boring sometimes, but it's better than getting injured for weeks or months. Your body needs some type of stretching before performing a high-intensity task like boxing or mixed martial arts, as it requires a lot of stamina. Some good exercises to warm up are dynamic stretching, jump rope, shadow boxing, high knees, and using the speed bag. It is a great way to prevent injuries. I like to do a 10 to 15 minute run, or 5 minutes of jump rope, 3 to 5 minutes of stretching, and a few minutes of shadow boxing, since it is quick and effective. The number 6 most common mistake made by people in boxing is not extending their arms properly while throwing a punch. Most beginners make the mistake of not throwing a punch with good form. So listen to this is how you master a cross in boxing. The best way to throw a solid and strong punch is to get in a good boxing stance. Then rotate your hips and pivot your back foot while throwing a cross. Then make sure to extend your arms completely while exhaling. People like to complicate it, but it is simple. You will learn it in a few months of training if you keep practicing it on the heavy bag. The number 7 most common mistake made in boxing is not remaining calm in a fight or while sparring. There are a lot of people who cannot keep their mind calm under pressure while they are in the ring. They get nervous and forget what they are doing. They start to charge in and drop their guard. Yeah, it is necessary to charge in boxing, but charging in carelessly can get you knocked out. The reason why people start to lose their calm is usually because people are staring at them or their coach is telling to listen to him. The number 8 most common mistake people make in boxing is their breathing. A lot of new boxers neglect their breathing while throwing a punch. You should be exhaling your breathing while throwing a punch instead of inhaling, as inhaling while punching can make you tired faster and can cause a decline in your performance. The number 9 most common mistake beginners make in boxing is not focusing on footwork. I see a lot of new guys in the gym who can move back and front pretty good, but they cannot move left and right fast without crossing their legs, which puts them in a fragile position and can make them lose their balance very easily. Yeah, it is pretty boring to be learning footwork instead of hitting the heavy bag or sparring. But footwork is by far one of the most important aspects of boxing. You gain a massive advantage over your opponent once you get light on your feet and can move around the ring without messing up. Your stance. Remember, every great champion had an amazing footwork. You can see your favorite boxers like Prince Nassim or the heavyweight legend Muhammad Ali. They all had exceptional footwork. Yeah, you should not be copying their footwork, as it may not work for you if you are new, but slowly with the help footwork drills and consistency you should crush your competition. The number 10 mistake people who start boxing make is quitting too early. Let's be honest, most people who start boxing or any combat sport like mixed martial arts or karate quit in a month or maybe 3 months. Either they get bored of just practicing footwork and basic punching in the first month, or they get beat up. So remember, if you have been training over a month, you have already beat 90% of guys in your age or maybe even in the world. You start to feel very good once you start getting better at the sport and get stronger than most people in the world. Remember, the first 1 to 3 months are usually boring because you are still learning the fundamentals. You are probably going to start sparring after training for a couple of months. That is the point where a lot of people quit again. Remember, you don't have to be training every day if you don't want to. Even if you train 1 to 3 times a week, you will still get better. I certainly feel learning any martial arts is beneficial for your health, fitness, and your mind. You start to get more confident in yourself. You should learn how to protect yourself when you need it. Remember, boxing is not the only combat sport. If you don't enjoy boxing, there are many options, like mixed martial arts, kickboxing, and karate. You could also learn Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Alright guys, like always, keep up the consistency. It's not just about hard work, it's about maintaining your training for a long amount of time. Keep analyzing and implementing what you learn. Hope to see you soon in the next video, bro.